We have breaking news now, a pursuit. You are looking at it right now. Let's get the details from Air 7 HD.
Hey, yeah, we're just pulling in right now. This is in the Pacoima-Arleta area. The pursuit you're watching is actually going into tracking mode right now. This is a white sedan on Interstate 5 northbound from the Osborne off-ramp. LAPD Foothill Division officers are actually chasing a guy for reckless driving and erratic driving. That's what they're telling us. They followed this guy around the San Fernando Valley through the Pacoima area, and at one point they tell us the guy in the car was actually circling around the LAPD Foothill Division police station, and that's on Osborne. And at one point they called off the pursuit, went into what they call tracking mode. Now we're just getting information they're going back into pursuit mode. And as you can see, this guy is driving very erratically. He went from the far right lane to the right shoulder and over into one of the left lanes now. North I-5, we're coming up on, I believe it's going to be Van Nuys Boulevard, and that's a little south of the 118 in the north end of the San Fernando Valley. Again, all LAPD officers are telling us at this point is the guy was wanted for reckless and or erratic driving. And you can see some of that right now, doing all he can to get around that rush hour traffic, which is a little lighter than normal for this time of the afternoon and in this part of town, using the right shoulder to get around that traffic. As you can see, traffic is very heavy here, and this should be the Van Nuys Boulevard off-ramp. North I-5 exiting Van Nuys Boulevard. He was tooling around on surface streets in LAPD's Foothill Division territory. Again, he was right by Osborne near the actual police station, circling around the police station. Very low speeds, but he picked things up, joined the freeway, but only for one ramp, then gets off the freeway here at Van Nuys Boulevard. Looks like he'll commit, make a right or eastbound turn now on Van Nuys Boulevard and back into the neighborhood, into Arleta and Pacoima. You can see the car there. You can see that four-door sedan. You see the windows rolled down. We can't tell how many people are in the car just yet outside of the driver. Oftentimes, these situations, you have unwilling participants in the car, so LAPD officers are taking that into consideration. He'll make a maybe make a left turn here, try to get around all that traffic, and now he'll be northbound on what I think is most likely going to be Laurel Canyon Boulevard. Yeah, northbound on Laurel from Van Nuys Boulevard, and he's about a half-mile south now of the 118, heading up toward the city of San Fernando, and looks like he's going to stay here in the San Fernando Valley. This is actually a short-lived pursuit. It's only been going on, to the best of my knowledge, for a little under a quarter of an hour. First, we heard about it right around 5:30 on surface streets in the San Fernando Valley, stopping and going, erratic driving, dangerous driving, reckless driving, according to LAPD officers, and that's why they've been trying to get this guy to pull over. Northbound on Laurel Canyon. Next stop, we're very close to the 118, so he'll have a choice. He can stick with surface streets or pick up the Ronald Reagan Freeway east or westbound through the San Fernando Valley. The 118 is actually very lightly traveled right now, so if he does commit to the freeway, he'll be in pretty good shape. These pursuits, when they get going a little too fast on surface streets, it's extremely dangerous for everybody, for the person being chased, for other people who may be in that car. We're going to try to zoom in tight now since we're parallel, and we'll see if we can see anybody else inside that car as soon as we clear these trees. Unsafe for other people who are driving on these surface streets, and of course pedestrians. You see some right there on the sidewalk right now. That's why LAPD officers are going to keep a reasonable distance, but right on top of this guy. They don't want to implement a pit maneuver in these very crowded neighborhoods where somebody could get hurt or killed, so they'll stay close but give the guy a little bit of a berth. Just passing under the 118 and still on Laurel Canyon northbound, doing everything he can to get around that traffic, driving in the center divider. On the freeway, you saw him driving on the right shoulder, running red lights and stop signs. This is a very dangerous pursuit, and as we always do, we want to remind you once again, because this is on surface streets in the San Fernando Valley, if you're watching this chase, maybe you know he's coming toward your neighborhood. The best thing you can do, stay indoor. We'll give you the best picture live from Air 7 HD. Stay indoors, keep the doors and windows locked. Oftentimes these pursuits, they stop somewhere, the suspect simply gets out, makes a run for it into a neighborhood, and we've seen these situations where suspects actually run into and commandeer a house, taking people hostage, and that's the last thing you want to find yourself in a situation tonight. Stay indoors, keep the doors and windows locked, don't go outside, don't egg this guy on. LAPD officers need a wide berth to bring this thing to a complete stop, a safe stop, and hopefully take this guy into custody very rapidly. Once again, the pursuit is going to be passing Chatsworth Drive, northbound on Laurel Canyon, passing Chatsworth. Now he's going to make a left or a westbound turn, and this is going to be Brand Boulevard westbound now. So he's going to be west, just north of the 118, and pretty much right in between the two major freeways in the San Fernando Valley, both the 5 and the 405. He's going to go under us, so give us just a heartbeat here, guys. We're going to reposition, get him right back into our frame. He's made some quick and erratic turns, and these situations can be a little difficult to follow. You see LAPD officers, they're right on top of that guy. You can see 3, maybe 4 right on his tail, and we're going to zoom in real tight as soon as we get behind this guy. Unfortunately, he did fly right, he drove right underneath our helicopter, so we have to reposition here, and we'll go tight once again. And not only is this guy being wanted now, according to LAPD officers, for reckless driving and erratic driving, but they tell us he's also wanted for an assault with a deadly weapon, a police officer. Now, I'm not sure what that deadly weapon is. That could be a gun, that could be a knife, it could be a baseball bat, a metal bar, oftentimes even a car. You can use a car as a deadly weapon. Unclear exactly what that deadly weapon is or was, but LAPD officers telling us he's now an assault with a deadly weapon against a police officer. Okay, this would be Columbus, North Columbus, and now making a left or a westbound turn. This will be San Fernando Mission. Westbound San Fernando Mission, that's going to take him right back to the 405. And there is an on-ramp coming up here. You'd have to make a right turn on, I believe, Sepulveda, and that would take him right back to the San Diego Freeway, the North 405, and that's about a half mile before the 405 merges with the 5. This looks like it might be an area that the suspect is familiar with. He's stayed confined to the San Fernando Valley for the past 15-20 minutes. Northbound now, it's going to be, I believe, Stanwood. Northbound on Stanwood off of Strandwood. Okay, northbound Strandwood, and that's just off of San Fernando Mission. Now making a southbound turn, and that's going to be on Sepulveda Boulevard. Southbound on Sepulveda. And approaching LAPD's Mission Division now. Here's the police station. Looks like he might be stopping. Now, he did this a short while ago at LAPD's Foothill Division Station. Now it looks like he's stopping right in front of the Mission Division Station. And he might be doing a cat and mouse game. He did this a while ago at another police station. Stopped and went, stopped and went. You can see LAPD officers in front of their Mission Division Station. They're fortified. They're keeping this guy at bay. They want him to stop, but they don't want him to breach the premises. Now he's pulling into a gas station right next door to LAPD's Mission Division Station, which again is on Sepulveda Boulevard here in the San Fernando Valley, and looks like he's going to try to recommit to what may be Sepulveda Boulevard, and he'll make a northbound turn and circle back. Now, everything you're watching here right now is happening just a few short minutes ago in front of LAPD's Foothill Division Station, going back and forth in front of the station. Might try that pit maneuver here, coming up on that right rear quarter panel on the Sepulveda Boulevard. There's that very light and gentle pit maneuver. The first officer implementing that maneuver, moving on. Officers right on top of this guy, and again, if he comes out of the car, we're going to take the shot just a little bit wide. This is a suspect, according to LAPD officers, who's wanted for an assault with a deadly weapon against police officers. Now they're out of their car. They're head on with that guy. His hands are out of the car, and that's a good sign.
Right.
But
he's going to. He looks like he's complying with their orders thus far. He put his hands up outside the driver's side window. Hands are still up. Looks like he's arguing with him now. Not a good idea. Car. I think he's got the foot on the brake, or does it? Maybe he hasn't put the car in park yet. Oh boy. Okay. That now.
Oh boy.
The shirt hanging down, that is not good. He needs to comply, and he's not so far. He's walking away from him. He's arguing with him.
What they want you to do in this case, they want you to throw out the car keys, and they want you to have your back facing the officers and get down on the ground.
He's not doing it.
Mark Michelle, we're hearing right now that LAPD officers are looking for some non-lethal weapons, a taser or perhaps a beanbag gun, and they've got those weapons at their availability. And the two guys walking toward the suspect, who appears to be belligerent, combative, semi-uncooperative, they may have to use that non-lethal force to bring him down. He's out. He's been hit. That's either a beanbag round or a taser round, and he is down on the ground right now. Even though he's down and surrounded by LAPD officers, heavily fortified LAPD officers with a variety of weapons, lethal and non-lethal, they're going to approach him very gingerly, very carefully. Some officers have their gun drawn, other officers pulling in, and they're going to take him into custody right now. We'll get a little tighter for you. Hands behind his back, and fortunately, after about 20 minutes, this pursuit in the San Fernando Valley has come to an end. Mark and Michelle.
What street is this on, Bill?
I believe this is going to be on Sepulveda Boulevard. He's actually under my helicopter right now, so I can't tell exactly where he's at. It's on Sepulveda Boulevard, just south of San Fernando Mission. So that's in the San Fernando Valley, Sepulveda Boulevard. Sepulveda Boulevard, by the way, of course, if you don't live in the San Fernando Valley, that is a major thoroughfare, similar to, for example, Ventura Boulevard in the San Fernando Valley, a different part of the valley, but a very heavily traveled part of the San Fernando Valley. With all this police activity, let's open up the shot here just a bit. You'll see now, everything is blocked off here on Sepulveda Boulevard. No traffic getting through with that police activity. But fortunately, this guy got out of his car, wasn't exactly complying with police officers, wasn't doing everything they wanted him to do, but fortunately it came to an end when an LAPD officer actually rear-ended that car, actually did the pit maneuver, came up to the rear right quarter panel of the car, spun him out of control. Then they surrounded the guy. He did get out of his car, but he wasn't exactly complying with all of their commands, so they pulled out their non-lethal rounds. They exercised great restraint. They shot the guy with the non-lethal round, and he is in custody now.
All right, Bill Thomas in Air 7 HD. Now it looks like that is over and another game underway. We're talking about the Dodgers, and we are going to be hearing from our Rob Fukuzaki, who is at Chavez